Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, right? Today we are going to be talking about Turbo. We are also going to be looking at the markets and we're going to see if there are any new updates. Right away, ladies and gentlemen, that we can see that, Turbo is almost back at 300 million market cap, which is what we like to see. There is also a lot more volume in recent times, sitting at roughly 45 million in volume in the last 24 hours. There is a comment over here, saying, Turbo, wake up, people. This is on every exchange in the world. And take a look at the, really low volume. The thing is, though, this volume is not even that low when we compared it to other meme coins. Remember when Turbo was sitting at a couple hundred million in terms of volume each day, while other coins were, you know, drastically lower, right? Coins that even had, a double market cap of Turbo, a triple market cap of Turbo, right? We talked about these ratios so long ago that Turbo was always one of the top coins when it came to, its volume, right? And sure, the volume is lower than it has been before, right? That is the truth, okay? That is the truth. But you also have to realize that this is not like a Turbo issue, right? I don't understand why people always leave these types of comments, saying, you know, wake up, turbos this, turbos that. Like this person just said, 44 million is not bad in volume at all, right? And that's when things are kind of going slow and sideways. We saw the markets, right? We saw Bitcoin. We marked up Bitcoin, right? We looked at the daily chart. Look how the volume and everything was on Bitcoin the last few days. Look at it. It's just flatlined, right? So, of course, there's going to be general lower volume when it comes to Turbo. I mean, that's just natural, but it's not like we're extremely low. So it's just ignorant comments like this. I don't know where people, even get, the conclusion. I don't know what runs in people's empty brains to leave comments like this. I'm not even trying to be rude, but there's just so much ignorance I always see, right? I'm not telling you to be one of those people that, says turbo for life. I'm never selling this and that and that and this, because obviously the whole point of this at the end of the day is to sell, right? The toad's, job is to get us to the moon, but the toad has to go back to Earth, right? And we don't want to go back to Earth with the toad because that means our gains are going to go down. So overall, a lot of optimism and stuff, but sometimes I see weird comments and I don't know if they're just rage bait. I don't know if there's just, someone, leaving a comment just full of ignorance. I usually ignore them, but since we are talking about Turbo, I will be addressing them. But because they, a decent volume when we compare something to, like Brett, someone said something, it's very, very similar, right? So if we go on Brett right now, right, we could see Brett's volume, almost doubled the market cap. Well, not necessarily double, but a good amount higher, right? Not only did Brett fall off a cliff in terms of market cap, but its volume is lower, right? Some of the other coins that we always talk about, like Mog coin, right? Mog coin, I mean, look at that higher market cap, much, much lower volume. Something like Popcat, even, right? If we go to something like Popcat, let's go to Popcat. These are just the coins I'm thinking off the top of my head. So, that is impressive volume, right? That is impressive volume, right? But we also, the context is different, ladies and gentlemen, right? It's not every coin is going to have the same, right? But good volume, right? So that's what we like to see in coins is high volume. Toshi has been on a big move recently, right? But look, its volume is quite low, right? There's nothing wrong with Toshi, right? Dog with hat, you know, it has a lot of volume, but its market cap is getting diminished. So, you know, volume isn't everything, it's just one metric. And turbos for its ratio has always been fantastic, right? Let's not get that confused. So, when we go back to turbo, right, we can see, ladies and gentlemen, also that when we go up to here, Etherscan, we can see that we are going back up in holders. There was a dip, which I didn't really expect. I don't know what happened necessarily, right? I don't look at this every single day, but it's funny because I said, we're all time high. Some type of dip happened. When was the 7th? The 7th was over here. So I guess some people abandon the ship, but I mean, like, it's your loss at the end of the day, right? To be getting rid of your turbo at a low. I mean, it just shows people's psychology. Absolutely terrible, right? When we go to Turbo's chart, we can see it's kind of just like literally like Bitcoin, right? It's very, very similar. I always said Bitcoin's the head of the snake. And generally speaking, for the most part, Bitcoin goes up, altcoins go up, Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down. Obviously, there's a factor like Bitcoin dominance and altcoin season and etc. But generally speaking, that is a good general rule. Now, look, I will say, ladies and gentlemen, right? There is a good chance at this current moment we do not get the dip we were looking for, right? Going back to this zone, right? If we go look at the charts, we have been, respecting this area, generally speaking, of 0.0036 for some time now, right? We have been respecting it and we are looking to create higher highs. At the current moment, we are creating higher lows, right? When we look at the candle closes, take it this, right? We can see boom, bang, bang, double bottom, and we are looking to be conquering these highs over here, right? So, things are looking great, right? Things are looking great. If didn't buy Turbo, you've had a great chance to buy Turbo at a fantastic price. Ever since pretty much the second until now, you've had 8 days to buy between this range, generally speaking. So, even up here is a fantastic price because obviously when we zoom out, we can see how much we have dropped, right? Once again, this is not a Turbo issue. This was just a whole market bleeding, many altcoins filling either some type of order blocks or sweeping liquidity. So, it's still a great, fantastic buying opportunity, right? Remember, literally, I know people joke about this, but buy low, sell high, right? My bias is still the same for Turbo in terms of its bigger picture. I believe that we will recover very, very quickly up until 0.008 area. Reason is because there's lots of imbalance. When there's imbalance, that pretty much means there is a lack of support and resistance, which means we can mirror moves very, very quickly. You see the way we pumped quickly over here, right? Where I circled it, right? We dumped very quickly. So I would not be surprised if we pump very quickly, maybe retrace a little bit before we kind of go more slower and slower. Eventually, I expect us to get above this big, nice zone. And I believe once we blast off from here, ladies and gentlemen, that is when the real fun is going to happen, right? You know, we could still technically pump sometime in May, right? In terms of our first peak. But, that is just based off speculation, based off previous cycles. Got to remember some things are different. ETF is here. There's a lot more demand. Things are getting stretched out a little bit differently, a little bit longer. Overall, the picture looks fantastic. I mean, man, if you keep up with the news, ladies and gentlemen, which I could be doing more often, right? General news that comes out, guys, I am telling you, everything just screams bullish. So I am super high on Turbo. In terms of news, there is no new news, which is okay. Turbo, releases a lot of news each month, anyways. So, we are on the hunt for Robinhood, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll see, if more news comes out. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.